Hi, we're the host of the Tampa Native Show.
And you're watching
Tampa Bay Community Network.
Come here. Let me say something. I remember Tampa, the way she used to be, the places we would run to, the faces we would see. Yes, I remember Tampa, those precious memories. A city rising on the move, a simple yet progressive groove. I remember Tampa, and she remembers me. Yeah. She remembers me.
Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Stay tuned now for the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Live from the studios at TBCN, the home of the Tampa Native Show. Join your hosts, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella, as they celebrate growing up in Tampa. From Shock Armstrong to Shakey's Pizza, from Braddock Street to Buffalo Avenue. Get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And now, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella.
She remembers me.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Tampa Native Show. You know, if it's Thursday night and it's 7 o'clock, it's got to be the Tampa Native Show. My name is Mario Nunez. I'd like to welcome everybody who's just looking in on us for the first time. I'm seated alongside my broadcast partner,
Sally Nunez,
a.k.a. our very own 15-Minute Girl. And over to her left,
Steve Canella.
that's Tampa Steve, for those of you tuning in for the first time, and we'll get to hear a little explanation about that a little bit later on.
right.
Tonight's show, if you haven't heard already, is all about the Tampa Natives, who we are and where we came from. It's going to be a very interesting, lively show. We expect a lot of calls tonight because everybody that's out there watching certainly has a story to tell about their ancestry. You know, nobody's indigenous to this, I guess, to this soil, to this land, unless, of course, you are about a 7th or 8th generation Native American. And some of us may have some of that blood in us. I think I'm seated next to one right here alongside. But a lot of us, especially those of us that grew up here in Tampa and celebrate this show each and every week, may have Sicilian heritage, may have Spanish heritage, may have Cuban heritage.
German.
And of course, there's the German side and the Jewish community that was here as well, and the indigenous Anglos, who we affectionately refer to as Florida Crackers. And then there was the African American experience that was here, and also that Native American. So all of this is going to be what we're going to be talking about tonight. We can't wait to hear from you, our callers. So be sure to call in when the number is posted. In just a few minutes, we'll give you that number. We want to talk a little bit about what we experienced just this past weekend. We had a Sunday of all Sundays.
Sure
I had a Sunday. I had a birthday, Mother's Day to beat the band.
Yep. And Stevie, where were we this past Sunday?
And that was at the Tropicana Field, the Rays versus the Padres, and also it was a retirement party for you as well.
Well, there you go.
And
want
Mother's
to say
Day.
that. Thank you so much. And listen, everybody who showed up, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because you know what? There were 40 of us strong in a private suite up there at Tropicana Field. And it was just one of those very special occasions. Our name was displayed on the Jumbotron in the 5th inning. In the 6th inning, I got an opportunity to do a radio interview with WDAE and tell a little bit about the Tampa Native experience and the Tampa Native Show. And we also had a visit for about 2.5 innings by one of the broadcasters for the Tampa Bay Rays, Orestes de Estrada. De Estrada was there with us for, good 45 minutes. And it was really just very nice of him to take up his time. We saw a win. You know, we didn't think at first because the Padres jumped out ahead, and of course the good guys prevailed at the end.
And great plays.
So what a great experience, and what a great place to watch the game from. So thank you to Center Plate and Jackie Van Zant for putting together our menu for us, and Mr. Tom Breslin, who was our sales representative there at the Tampa Bay Rays, for taking such good care of us. For Mr. Larry McCabe, who's in charge of the broadcasting there for the Rays, for assisting with that interview, and of course for Mr. Mark Fernandez and his crew, who's one of the chiefs of operations there, for helping us get our name up on the Jumbotron. It was an amazing
It really
afternoon.
was.
And a great group
Really
of
was.
people, too.
Yeah, no, and thank
Yes.
you to all the new
Thank you.
people that came, and we're all
That's
friends
right.
now. You made it great.
Great. bunch
Hopefully
of people.
everybody's out there watching. We did take, the 15-minute girl was in a lot of pictures, but she also took a lot of pictures.
did.
And then, of course, we turned those pictures over to our resident IT department. That would be the guy seated to my far left. And Tampa Steve put together a real nice video for you. We want to show that right up at the top of the show because we got so much to cover tonight, but we
do.
didn't want to miss this. It's about 3 minutes worth. We have a nice song, I think, that goes with it apropos. And we'd like to invite you to sit back, enjoy this video of our just last Sunday at the Tropicana Field. Enjoy.
Lots of fun.
This is it. This is what I've waited for so long. Starting now, gotta trust these feelings coming on. Take a chance, even though I feel like I should run. I'm staying with it, letting my heart take me.
From time to time, we dropped the balance of that. We'll see if we can't bring that back up because we really want to show that whole segment there between now and the end of the show. So it was disheartening to hear the music just stop and everything
I know.
go dark on us. But we'll see if we can't get our staff to work on that behind the scenes and bring that back up in just a little bit.
And
we
we'll
have
put
a
that
call.
video. We'll put that video on the website too, by the way. I'd say by Saturday.
Yeah, by Saturday
Yeah.
at the latest, if not tonight. Steve's going to be so frustrated he'll go home and put that up there so everybody
Probably
can
tonight.
see it. He really did a great job with that. So let's go ahead and take our caller on line 4, and then we'll give it a couple of minutes to see if we can't work the bugs out of that, and we'll bring that video back up for you. So without further ado, caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, this is Skipper from Seminole.
Hey, Skipper, how are you?
I'm doing great.
The video started out with a bang and then ended with a thud, but we think we've got the bugs worked out. We're going to bring that back up in just a minute. Anything you want to tell those fans of the Tampa Native Show that maybe weren't with us this past Sunday?
Well, I want to say that it was a wonderful afternoon. Great game. Great friends. We had a birthday. We had a retirement, and we had a anniversary of sorts.
That's true.
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Tell everybody about that anniversary, Skipper.
Well, it's 48 years since Keith and I we actually asked her to go steady on that May 12th at 2:27.
May 12th at
Wow.
2:27 in the afternoon, and at 2:27 exactly in the afternoon on May the 12th, this past May the 12th, Keith presented you with some gifts. And it was a really, I stopped short of saying it was a love fest, but you know what? It really was.
It really was, yeah.
It really was. We had a great time. 40 people, 40 seats ringside there overlooking the stadium. It wasn't a bad seat. You can see the field pretty well from where we were seated.
Oh, it was a great seating.
Food was
really
good.
put on a nice venue for us.
Food was good. We had our own little private bathroom right around the corner.
Yep.
The 15-minute girl. Hold that up, darling, so everybody can see that. Odessa stopped by and even signed a baseball for us. Isn't that
was
something?
so sweet, yeah.
Yeah, that was true. He stayed there for a while.
Yeah.
He
Yes,
did.
he
He
did.
sure did.
Yes,
and,
he
he,
did.
and he talked to us for a good little while. And man, that was a lot of fun.
You might say we covered all the bases.
We did cover all the
Literally.
bases. Look at Stevie.
There you go.
He's been hoping that he gets that bell rung, and he just got his first bell ring of the night. Listen, Skipper, give us your Lucky Bolita number.
I already wrote him down.
I'm 3 and Keith is 7.
Okay.
Some things never change, and that's
I got
why we
it.
love you. Thank you, Skipper. We appreciate it. Now, listen, in keeping with tonight's theme, tell us real quickly where your grandfather, your great-grandfather came from. We know, but we want to hear it.
Sambuca, Sicily.
Sambuca, Sicily.
Yep.
I'm writing that down because we're gonna take a little inventory tonight and see what was it Santo Stefano, was it Sambuca? Which town in Sicily provided us with the most residents that are going to be calling in tonight? And Cuba as well. Of course, Cuba was probably predominantly Havana, but then we have our Spaniards, and we just want to hear from everybody tonight. So get ready to call in. Dory's already screening the next caller. Skipper, thank you so much,
Thanks.
and thank you
Thank you for everything.
Thank you
Yes.
for your wonderful gifts, personally for me and for the 15-minute
Yes.
girl. It was amazing.
It was a pleasure. I
was a
enjoyed every
wonderful
minute of it.
surprise.
Thank
We
you.
love you. Thank you, guys.
Great time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Joe.
All right, we heard that the video is
Nice.
good. Let's go back to that video. Caller, we see you there on the line. Please stand by. This video is amazing, and we just want to show it to you. So let's take it again from the top. Enjoy.
Perfect.
Starting now, gotta trust these feelings coming on. Take a chance, even though I feel like I should run. I'm staying with it, letting my heart take me there. Got a feeling, ooh, I'm going somewhere. I'm deep in it, and I really do care. Wait a minute now. Boy, don't walk out now. I can see your disbelieving eyes. Don't you know? Holding back your love is so unwise. Take a chance. Anytime you took a lover's stand. I'm fixing to jump. Yeah! Wait a minute now. Staying with it, letting my heart take me there. Got a feeling, ooh, I'm going somewhere. Deep in it, and I really do care. Wait a minute now. Baby, don't walk out. Staying with it, letting my heart take me there. Got a feeling, ooh, I'm going somewhere. Deep in it, and I really do care. Wait a minute now. Baby, don't walk out. Staying with it, ooh, staying with it. Staying with it, ooh, 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 yeah. Staying with it, don't hold back, 'cause you gotta take a chance with me. Staying with it, ooh, staying with it. Staying with it, ooh, 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 yeah. Staying with it, don't hold back.
So thank you once again to everybody that participated. That was really, really an excellent afternoon. Stevie, thanks for putting that video together for
My
us.
pleasure.
Good
A
job.
special
Thank you.
thanks to Firefall for the use of their song. That song was called Staying With It. You know, and we thought it was apropos because sometimes you got to stay with it. Whether it's being a fan of this show and we have little snafus like happen from time to time, or when you have to stay with those Rays because
Yes,
they get out to an early, they fall behind early, but then, you know, they
They
always
came back
rally
big
and
time.
come back. So
Excellent choice of music, though.
Staying With It by Firefall. Thank you guys very much for the use of your song. We've got a lot to cover tonight,
We
so
do.
we want to make sure that you know what our number is. We want to give that to you now. It's 813-977-6800. 813-977-6800. Call us from anywhere where you are. We want to hear from you, especially our out-of-town viewers. We
Yes.
love to hear from our out-of-town viewers.
Where are you calling from?
I think you owe me an apology, don't you?
Well, I do. And let's get to this caller who's been
Really?
waiting for a hot minute,
We'll
and then I'll
save
get
it
back to that
afterwards,
apology.
okay.
And I don't apologize to Steve too often, so you might want to be here around to hear this. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Mario, guys, it's David Benito calling.
Hey, David,
David.
how are you?
How you doing? Boy,
Great.
that's great pictures. I had such a fun time at that game.
We all did.
The suite was just gorgeous.
It was, wasn't it?
And great food,
Perfect.
you know, saw
Yeah.
the great game, and, you know, the Big O coming in, spin. I was surprised how long Orestes spent there with us. He really
Yeah.
time with us. And now, Sally, is that the ball that...
That is it.
Okay,
amazing.
yeah. That,
Yes.
I don't know if you want to tell her how she got the
Oh.
story behind that baseball that she got.
And we tried desperately to get him a piece of that cake, that wonderful cake from Alessi Bakery that was just filled with guava filling. It was delicious. It was man-sized for sure. There it is. And look at us. Orestes
birthday
signed
and
it.
happy
Happy
Mother's
birthday
Day.
and happy Mother's
Yeah.
Day. And isn't that nice?
He's
To
a very
Sally
sweet man.
with number 39. Good smelling man too, man. He looked
Not
terrific.
bad to look at either.
Looked terrific in
actually.
that suit. And I was impressed because you see him on TV, you don't realize he's a big guy.
Yes.
He is.
He's a big man. Nice though.
He really is. It was
Yes.
great. I mean, great games. The food was great. Everything was perfect. And
Thank you, David. Thanks for participating. And
Thanks
tell
for
us
coming with.
And tell us your Bolita number and tell us where your family is from so we can record that as well.
Yeah, my number's 46,
Okay?
and my mother's family was from Astoria,
Okay, very good.
settled in West Tampa on Beach Street. Beach Street in St. Conroe, around Beach Street, St. Conroe, that area.
The
Yes.
heart of
Yeah.
West Tampa. Absolutely, we
That's
know
right.
where that is. Thank you, David. Listen, rumor has it that we're going to be getting together here again pretty soon. Maybe at the Tampa Yankees game. We're working on getting a suite at the Tampa Yankees game. So stay tuned. More information coming. And of course, tonight's Bolita winner, we're going to give away 3 prizes as we always do, which is a wonderful bottle of infused vinaigrette. Or I should say,
Olive oil.
cold pressed olive oil
Yeah.
from Joe and Sons Olive Oil right there in the heart of Palmacia, Beta Bay, between Himes and McDill. We're also going to give away 4 tickets to the Tampa Yankees game, Bark in the Park, and we have that graphic. If you want to bring that graphic up now, Eric, that's wonderful. Bark in the Park, 4 tickets this coming Saturday. Also, a $10 gift certificate to La Septima Cafe. Look at that, Bark in the Park. That's this Saturday,
How cute.
6 o'clock. Gates open at 4:30. The festivities begin at 4:30. And of course, Bark in the Park, what does that mean, Stevie?
Bring
said
your
bring-
dog.
bring your own
Bring your
dog.
critter.
I wish we had a dog.
Bring your critter.
Can I bring my cat?
No, I don't think cats are allowed. This is
We
Bark.
can't
That would be
bring ours.
meow in the park if it were in the ballpark. So,
It should be fun.
hopefully you'll win as well, Davian. Stand by. More fun than you can imagine coming up in just a little while. Thank you, partner.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I wanted to also talk a little bit about that image that you see behind us there, because I would be remiss, Steve, if I didn't
You
mention
would be
that.
remiss.
Yes, I would. That's an iconic image in the heart of West Tampa there. That's one of our water towers.
So much is. Look at that.
And it's had different paint jobs, I guess you could say, over the course of all these years. I remember back in the 60s and 70s, it was painted like Purina Ralston, like
It
the
was.
Yeah.
red
Checkerboard.
checkerboard,
Yeah.
if you remember. And everybody who ever, it's right off of Himes Avenue, so anybody who ever even came close to West Tampa, even you could see it off of Dale Mabry, you could see it from Tampa Stadium, you could see it from Al Lopez Field, is now going to be repainted by the city.
That's a beautiful
And
color.
as you can see, it's going to say "Welcome to West Tampa." That to me is, it looks like, and I'm thinking it was the inspiration for that was probably a cigar wrapper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Those
A cigar,
colors.
not a cigar wrapper, excuse me, a cigar label.
Yes.
So, it's so apropos. Again, West Tampa meant so much to the cigar trade, as did Ybor City. And we need to make sure that everybody knows when they're driving by those old cigar factories on Howard and Armenia and all throughout West Tampa that was the lifeblood of that community.
And you know what? We need to find a picture of the old checkerboard painting.
We will. I know
I think there's one
we
out
can
there.
put Dan Perez on that because he does have one.
'Cause that's
and
etched
he
in my
can,
mind
he can
as
blow
a-
that up for
Yeah.
us. That's absolutely everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
Well, to get to that apology that I spoke of a little bit earlier, and again, with 2 lines lit up, I'll make it rather brief. And I don't always apologize to Steve. I'd rather not do it, quite honestly. But on live TV here, I do owe Steve a bit of an apology. You see, what happened was this past Saturday, Steve participated in a 5K run. And if you remember last week on the show, he had the audacity to come in and not only show us his new shoes, but his new socks, as if that was going to make a difference in the run.
It did.
And I told him, I said, let me tell you something, pal. I said, you know what? The only training that you did prior to that 5K run was beer and wings the night
Yeah.
before.
The night before.
I said, you're going to fall flat on your face, number 1. Number 2, you're going to be so sore you're not going to be able to make it to the Sunday event with us. And quite honestly, that's just not correct. But I got to tell you.
He did it.
Go ahead, my
You
brother.
know what? I went the distance. I did it. I made it 3.5 miles, 5K, nonstop, without any training. I haven't run in probably 7 years. And last time I was chased, actually.
Oh, wow.
And but yeah, I went the distance just like Rocky Balboa.
Just
Good
like
for
Rocky
him.
Balboa. He made it to the top step. He pumped his arms
Proud
up in
of
the
you,
air. And I
Steve.
understand that he was running with a female running mate. And about a third of the way through that, she kind of got a little pain in her side and she started to give out.
It was hot.
And Stevie, being
Yeah,
the gentleman that he
that's not
was, he
good.
kind of stuck behind. And he said, honey, I'll stay with you. I don't know if he used the word honey, but I'm going to assume he did. Sweetie, I'll stay with you. It's okay. She said, no, Rocky, go, win. So he took off. And he made it the distance. Let's go to caller on line 4 and see what they have to say about that. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, you guys, it's Rose Durant.
Hey, Rose Duran, how are you?
Oh, great. Still talking about Sunday, and what a wonderful time. Thank you.
It was a
thank
good time.
you.
Thank you so much for participating with us, darling. We appreciate it. We know that you left worried because you figured that maybe you had left your
Little
flower pots.
We
but
have them.
rest assured, they are in safe hands. They are at our house, and we have them for you. So
Yeah.
next time we see you, we'll be sure to give them to you.
It was so big, if we would have brought our gloves, we could have played hot box.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Yes.
that. I forgot about that game.
Great game. Great game. Well, listen, Rose, tell us, in keeping with the theme of this week's show, Ancestry.com, and all things about our history and our past, where did your folks come from? How'd they get here?
My mother was German.
Okay.
A German citizen. She came over. She was she was sponsored by Colonel Stokes and his wife. She was their private nurse,
Oh.
Very cool.
and that's how she ended up in South Tampa because he was stationed at MacDill. And my father was from South Carolina. He worked for the railroad. Now, he had been down for a long time. He bought some property out there in Brandon. And anyway, my mom and dad met at the German-American Club off Rome.
I remember
Which is
that.
now
Yeah.
where you go to pay your water bill, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Is that the building I'm thinking about?
Little itty-bitty house.
Oh, no, on Rome. I'm thinking, yes, I'm thinking the one that's off.
Or-
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Still there. You can still have parties and stuff, but it looks very small compared to when I was little, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Everything's like that.
And,
So we've got you down for German and South Carolinian.
well,
And-
yeah, my dad's family, if you go back to like the 1700s, 1800s, it's French.
Okay, good. There we go.
Oui, oui.
Yeah, but my mom, I think one time there was a story, and I told you, she went to West Tampa Elementary to get her citizenship, and she was there with a lot of Cubans back at that time. It was 1968, 69. And I tell you what, my mother was an A student. She passed everything. She was very good. My dad used to take me there with my bicycle. I could ride around. Then he would take me up to West Tampa baseball field across from McFarland Park.
Sure.
Pool. And that's why I was thinking about the hot box, because I would take my glove, we'd watch the ball games and stuff. But, there was kids all over the place. You could play with anyone, even
Yeah.
though the ball game was...
Good memories.
Cup ball
Yeah.
was another favorite game of ours. We've got some photographs that we need to show of ours,
we do.
Stevie. We've got pictures from
We
your
sure do.
family, from my family, from the 15-minute girls. We have your numbers already, Rose, because
Yes.
you sent them earlier in an email, and we thank you for doing that, because
Yes.
you never miss out that way. And you win a lot of times, too.
And thanks for
Well,
coming
it-
to Sunday's
Especially,
event.
and by the way, that water tower, I'm so glad they finally fixed that up, because, for many years, that thing looked
It was
pretty...
bland.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to Plant High School, but I had a lot of friends. And, their water tower was always...
Well,
That's that
Plant
South
High
Tampa thing,
School.
baby. That's what I'm saying. That's that Palmacia thing. But hey, we're coming up. West Tampa catching up, and we have it on good account too that they're going to be making some improvements,
Yes.
not only to the Sulphur Springs pool, but to the Sulphur Springs gazebo and
On the fire department, they did something about new fire department.
to the
Yeah.
tower as well. Rose, thank you for calling,
Thanks,
darling. And
Rose.
thank you for
Take care.
being there with us on Sunday. Thanks, Debbie,
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. So listen, we've got some pictures. Let's get to this caller on line 5, and then we'll get to our pictures, because we've got a story to tell as
do.
well.
We do.
And some really interesting things that you guys haven't seen before. Caller, you're on the air with the Tampa Native Show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Kiki, and I'm calling from Castillo.
Hi,
Hey,
Kiki from
Kiki.
Castillos. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, they repainted that tower, right?
Yes.
That's already been done?
They're going
I don't believe that it's been. I
Yeah.
believe that's a rendering. I don't
right.
believe that it's been done yet. I believe they're about to do that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I was just there the other day. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, I passed by them, but that rendering you got there looks so damn real.
Right. Well, Photoshop, you can do anything. Wait till you see the picture of me and Steve riding tandem on Jimmy the Horse. We're going to get that one out there pretty soon, too. Because Steve can't find his picture, and quite honestly, I don't remember ever having taken one
I
on
want to
Jimmy the
ride
Horse.
too. I didn't get
Well,
to
we're
go
going to get Dan
either.
Perez to Photoshop me on the back of Jimmy's.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, that's going to
I've
be
got
great.
it somewhere.
That would be hilarious.
I tell you what, though, Mike, it does look really good.
No, it does.
That tower. I think that'd be a good improvement over here in West Tampa.
Yeah.
We do need a facelift over here.
And recently
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
redid the gazebo on top of the little hill at McFarland Park too. The little, I guess it's a gazebo.
Yeah.
They just
It is a
fixed that.
gazebo.
Yep,
Yeah.
they just fixed that. So maybe there's a party in the offing. Maybe we can get the city to work with us, and we can have a Tampa Natives little some kind of little springtime
That'd
event
be-
there. I
that'd
know
be
the
great.
West Tampa women just did. Maybe
Yeah.
we can have one too.
That'll be cool.
All right, Kiki,
Anyway,
thanks
I
for
just calling to say hi, and I enjoyed it. And
What's your
we're going.
number?
What's your number tonight, Geek?
Tonight's going to be 27.
27.
40 or 27?
27.
27.
27.
Kiki, tell us real quick because everybody tells us. Your grandparents, your great-grandparents, where did they come from? When did they get here?
Oh, we all came from Cuba.
Yep.
But, unbelievable. My grandmother was born in the United States and went to Cuba at a young age. And she was born here in the United States, and she don't speak a word of English. Well, she passed since then.
Right.
But she doesn't speak any English. But she's an American. And then we came down here in '59, just before Castro.
Sure.
And we landed here in West Tampa. I used to live right there on Howard and St. John Street.
In the heart of.
In the heart of.
Attaboy. And we shared a common experience of playing at West Tampa Senior League as well.
And we live in blocks with one another, so when we were growing up.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We have family that's, that one little area right there. And Geek, I'll just throw this out there for your consideration as well. There's some talk about possibly another reunion this fall with the North Hubert Playground Group. And of course, we're going to get you and Omar and Raul to be involved in that.
I'm looking forward to that. I see quite a few.
We did it a few years back, and it's time. There's some talk out there. Kevin Love has been talking about it too. He's up in Brooksville. Hopefully, he's watching tonight about another get together. So you'll be first to know.
Yeah, we lost one of our guys from over there.
We sure did. I think yesterday was his funeral. I know.
Yeah, so we're all getting a little older here. So.
And that's why I say all the time that this is the time when we A, got to take care of ourselves, and B, when we see each other, man, we got to hug each other a little tighter because you just
Hugs
don't know.
are good.
You just don't know, and hugs are good.
Yeah, they're good for you.
All right, now we'll keep the show up going.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Geek. Thank you. We'll come see you soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, let's go to caller on line 4, and then we'll go to our pictures, Eric. So we'll start with, I guess, Steve, are you first in the queue?
I think I am. Well, I
Okay.
think it doesn't matter, really.
It doesn't? Okay,
No.
so why don't you go ahead and
Yeah,
go
okay,
first, and then
we'll
we'll
do
go,
that.
and then we'll
Okay.
take this caller, and then
Perfect.
and we'll start the pictures, and Steve,
perfect.
get ready to tell your family story.
Cool.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Christina Polakis. I'm calling from Clearwater.
Let me go ahead and turn that up a little bit. I think I heard the name Christina Polakis, but maybe our fans didn't hear it. So try
Christina.
again.
Okay.
We'll take it from the top, take 2. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Christina Polakis, and I'm calling from Clearwater.
I know Christina.
Hi.
I think you might be a first-time caller. Is that correct?
That is correct, I am.
Well, as always,
Welcome
first-time callers get a bell ring. Now, listen, Christina, that name is very familiar to me. Is there a distinct reason why you might be calling tonight?
Yes, there is.
All right, cue the music. Go ahead.
I would like to thank everybody for the fabulous time that I had at the Mother's Day Raise Game event
Great.
with the Tampa Natives. That was awesome.
Another raging endorsement for the Tampa
Yes.
Natives.
Awesome.
And the way they like to party. Go ahead.
Hopefully there will be another event soon.
Sooner than later, you betcha. We got momentum at our, we got wind at our backs now. We're
And
fixing
we're
to
so
do it
happy.
again.
So happy you joined us as well.
And second of all, I wanted to say that Steve did run the race on Saturday.
Yay.
I'm sorry, could you speak into my good ear? I think I heard
I
you
guess
say
she was an eyewitness.
Steve did
So we have
run?
proof. There's proof
Yeah.
here.
Steve did run, and I can vouch for him because I was running behind him. So the fact
Oh, were you that lovely lady that was running with him that gave out halfway through the race and Steve just left you in the dust? Is that the one?
he did, yeah.
That's the one.
What a gentleman that Steve Canuck. There he is. Our very own version of Rocky. I guess that makes you, yo, Adrian.
Well, I needed someone to back me up, so I'm so glad you called in to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Fantastic.
listen,
He
I
didn't
didn't believe him. I didn't believe
I
him.
believed him.
Sally
was the only
did, but
one that
that's,
did.
how women are. So Christina, thank you so much for calling, darling, and thank you for being with us. This is the
Yes.
second
Yes.
year you attended that event with us, and you
fun.
were there last spring with us. So let's make it a tradition, same time next year, but maybe sooner.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hey, before you go, 2 things real quick. Your lucky drawing number, Bolita drawing number between 1 and 75.
You want a number between 1 and 25?
Your lucky
Yes.
number, yes.
32.
32, because we're giving
Okay.
away prizes.
You may win something.
And tell us, when did you get here? When did your people get here? Where did they come from?
This is an easy one.
My people came from Greece.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I couldn't have guessed that.
Yes, but I've been here 25 years. I'm from Canada originally. So
Okay, good. So, Greece by way of Canada.
that's right.
Very good.
Awesome.
Very good. Well, thank you, Christina.
Great
Thanks
call.
for
Thank
calling
you.
again.
Yeah, thanks for
And
calling.
thanks for coming out to party with us.
Thank you, Mario. Thanks again.
Yeah,
See
we
you
had a good
soon.
time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Wow, we got another caller.
Somebody vouch for me.
I mean, we need to go to these callers because we need to get the callers and then we need to get to our story.
Yeah, quick.
We got time. We got time. We're only halfway through the show. Hey, caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Marlene Masega Lee.
It sure is.
Marlene.
Hi, Marlene.
Wow.
We haven't heard from you in a
The
bit.
new grandma.
Yes, and she's
Congratulations.
beautiful. And
She
she's
is.
beautiful.
She really is.
I'm so excited.
I know.
As well you should be.
Definitely.
And thanks to you and Terry for posting those pictures of,
Yeah.
of the move of Al Lopez's house. That was very
Yeah,
cool.
that was really cool.
Really nice.
You need seeing it. My daughter called me in the middle, real early this morning to say, because she lives right across the street, that she could see them moving the house there.
How cool that must have been to see that. You don't see that every day.
Yeah.
No, you sure don't.
Very, very nice. Well, Marlene, we know your story a little bit because we know your pop a little bit.
Yes, we had
And we
him
want
on
to
the
hear it
show.
from you. Tell us where your people came from and when did they get here?
Okay, I have on my father's side, one was from Galicia, my father's father from San Miguel, Spain, and then my grandmother was from Asturias, but I don't know where. And then on my mother's side, my grandmother was from Galicia, from La Coruña, and my grandfather was from Peñoyan, where I still have family.
Wow. Didn't you go there recently? Didn't you do a trip to Spain? Didn't you go to Madrid recently or to Spain recently?
Yeah, to Barcelona and Madrid, and
There
I
you
did go
go.
see my family. And now with Facebook, my cousin's daughter knows I was there.
Oh,
And I
great.
feel terrible, so hopefully this fall I'll get to go up to Peñoyan.
You know, it's one thing, we both retired recently from an airline career, and you know, mine was actually, yours was in res and mine was in flight service, but it's going to take a minute before I get the desire to crawl back on an airplane, but I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to it when it does happen because, you know, it's the quickest way to get where you need to go. And we're talking here about Ancestry tonight. We're going to start talking a little bit about how our great-grandparents got here. Those that came from Sicily, the only way to get here back in those days was by boat, and it took forever. You know, it
2 or
took
3
2
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. And it was an arduous journey. I can only imagine. And depending on where you were in the boat, what level of passage you were able to afford, you know, was either very comfortable or not so much. So, but to that end, you know, today with jet travel, you know, you can be there in 8, 9, 10 hours.
Well, I just found the tariffs from my grandmother because they went back to Spain, and when she got pregnant with my mother over there and wanted her born here, so I found the tariff with my grandparents, and there's like 10 people in the picture. I have no idea who the other people are, but it shows it's a book, bonded book, that has their pictures and all the tariffs, so it's pretty neat seeing
That is
that.
very cool.
Those are
Interesting.
treasures that you
Love it.
absolutely have to make sure that you
Yeah.
take care of to be able to pass down to, you know, to your children and grandchildren, because that's how we keep the story alive, and that's how we know who we are and where we came from.
That's right.
Those are
Well,
artifacts.
my two cousins have family trees, so they're keeping it
Good.
together.
Yeah, because it can get away from us. And in my case, my great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather were from Veracruz in Mexico. And sometimes, depending on where the records were kept, and a lot of times back in those days, it was through the church. The priests kept the records. You know, the birth record, the baptismal record, the marriage record, the death certificate. It was all together. And if there was a fire, if there was a flood, or if there was some natural catastrophe, those records would be lost. You know,
Yeah.
so they did a much better job in Europe of keeping records, and the Germans and everybody in Northern Europe was much more adept at keeping those records safe and sound. Central America, Latin America, maybe not so much. So very fortunate you are to have those and keep those. Can we get your Bolita number tonight?
My granddaughter was born on the 19th.
19 it is.
That's a good luck number.
19 it is. Thank you so much, Marlene. We love you and we appreciate you calling.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
You're,
you.
you're doing a great job. See
Thank you,
Thanks.
baby. Thank you so
Marlene.
much.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
We may have to have a part 2.
Wow, this is
Yeah?
going great.
Dude.
Listen, okay, until we get a break, we'll take these callers and we'll just keep rolling. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
It's Tom from New York.
Hey, it's
Hey,
Tom.
Tom.
Terrific. Tom, been a long time. Tom from New York. Tom, tell us, where did your people come from and why aren't they here yet? Did you see that? That was good,
I like
right?
that.
That was good. Because
great.
it was not why aren't they here? I mean, when did they get here?
Yeah.
Tom, where did your people come from? Come on, talk to us, brother.
I don't know as much about my father's side of the family, but it goes back to the Scottish Campbells.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So Scots, we got Scots here. Scots are in the house. A lot of the northern migration came in through Ellis Island and then stayed in the northern tier of the United States because the agriculture, the weather was suitable to their clothing, what they were used to, the terrain. And I guess you could say the migration from the south, you know, the same thing held true. You know, those
Yeah.
that came from the
Industries,
Caribbean
yeah.
stayed here in the Florida area because of the same thing.
Right.
Weather suits your clothes, like the Midnight Cowboy, going where the weather suits my clothes. So, Tommy, you stayed up in New York, though. What's going on there, man?
Just the finally spring. The grass is finally green. The leaves are finally here.
Finally.
Hey.
So they look good.
Hey, listen, it's May 16th today.
Yeah.
And we're still sleeping with our windows open. I don't know what's going on.
No spring this year at all.
But there's going to be hell to pay. I got a feeling it's probably going to be. And you know, yesterday
Yeah.
they had terrible tornadoes in Texas.
wait.
So I mean, and it was 93 degrees in Billings, Montana 2 days ago. I don't know, man. I you know, it's upside down and inside out. So
Yeah.
But at least your grass is turning green, man. That's good. That's a good sign. Spring is in the air. Hey,
we
should
have-
I guess your Bolita number? You're going to tell us tonight.
We have it, 42.
42. Yep. I already sent it in an email.
I just got it. Tom.
42. We got Tom on Tom's mom's side. The Campbell, the Scots Campbell.
Oh, that's actually my father's side.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Campbell being the last name. That's right.
Johnsons, my mother's side, the Johnsons came from England. Now, I never knew my mom's mom and dad because they passed away before I was very young, so, or before I was even born. But they're from England, and they came straight over here, and they actually migrated to a town in Ohio called New London, Ohio. So my mom and her twin sister grew up in New London, Ohio.
So it's
Nice.
safe to say they probably came through Ellis Island.
Yeah. Who knows?
The main
Probably,
gateway,
I'm guessing
sure.
because
Yeah,
that was the
probably.
gateway there, and then of course there was
Yeah.
Charleston, South Carolina, which was another big
New
port of
Orleans.
entry, and New Orleans was another port. But I think by far the biggest push of people that came from the European colony, states to the new colonies here in the United States before they were even the United States,
Ellis Island.
came through Ellis Island. Hey, thank you, my brother. We appreciate your call. We got your Bolita number. Good luck. We hope you win.
You guys take care.
Thanks,
Tom.
Tommy. Good to hear
Tom.
from you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gosh, we got to get to this real
I
quick.
know.
We got to tell our stories, don't we? Let's see who's on line 5. Caller,
know.
you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is PJ Testa.
It sure is PJ Testa. How are you, Mr. Testa?
Good. How you doing, Mario?
We're doing great. Thank you for the tip on the article in the Penny Saver magazine. I called them today. I spoke with Linda there. She remembered, she knew PJ Testa well. She said Johnny Sinchett also turned her on to the Tampa Native Show. She's going to send us a copy of that article that came out in the Penny Saver. And she also knew very well Joseph and Norma Robinson, and she turned us on to them. So everything's happening for a reason, PJ. You're a big part of that, and we're going to get that Sulphur Springs, that information coming from Sulphur Springs pretty soon. But let's talk about the Testa family. Where'd they come from, and when did they get here?
Let's talk about that picture behind you.
Well, we can do that, sure.
Okay, my father was the iron worker who built that thing.
Oh, no way! That's for your pop, right
That's
there.
amazing.
That's for your dad. How's that?
That's
My
very
dad was
cool.
one of the iron workers who built that tower, yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Isn't that amazing?
It
Yep,
is.
yep,
amazing.
yep, because
It
it was
is.
semi-dangerous work back then, let's face it.
You know what?
Yeah.
And PJ,
Yes, it was.
PJ, do you have
But
any?
my father's
Oh, go ahead.
family was from Naples, Italy,
Okay,
and my mother's family was from Calabria, Italy.
Ah.
there
okay.
we go. So those are mainlanders,
Yeah,
right?
That's the
Yes,
main
they
one.
are.
Okay. So you're the one flying the ointment because everybody else is from Sicily, and here goes PJ. He's uptown, man. He's from the mainland.
I'm in the mainland.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's good.
Fantastic. I just love this show.
Good.
It is the best hour on television.
Thank
You
you.
guys do a phenomenal job, and I hope it goes on for 100 more years.
Thank you.
We're
thank
having
you.
a ball, and you know what? We know that with our angels looking over our shoulders, much like the one that I'm talking to right now, it will go on, PJ. We appreciate your love
We
and
do.
support, and thank you.
Thanks, PJ.
And I'm going to use my wife's birthday tonight as a lotto number.
Okay, let's have it.
17.
7.
Wow,
Dang.
that's my favorite
Happy
number right
birthday.
there.
Birthday in advance.
And listen, I want to just.
Oh,
throw-
it's taken.
Is it really?
Yeah, Deb.
Taken?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, then I'll go with mine, the 5th, 5.
Oh, okay, that's
5 it
good
is.
then.
5 it is. I just want to throw this out there. On the way to the studio tonight, I happened to notice a billboard. Apparently, the lotto rolled over.
Yes.
And I told Steve when I walked in here tonight, I said, man, did you see that? I said, it went from
Yes.
$330 million to $550 million,
$500
to
million.
which he told me, that's $500 million. I said, damn.
I got to go buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Damn,
Definitely.
because if one person
Better buy
wins
more
that,
than one.
I don't know what, $500 million, that's got to be a first.
Yes.
With a
Oh,
capital-
yeah. Wow.
capital
That's
B.
got to be the biggest one ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Thank you, PJ. We love you. Thank you again
We
for your
do.
support.
Okay, Mario.
Happy
You
birthday.
guys, good work.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
All right, let's get to our pictures now because we got 20 minutes to go before the show's over. But that doesn't mean you
Yikes.
can't call. So if you want to call, please, we'd love to hear from you, especially our new callers, our
We'll go
first-time
fast.
callers. We will go fast.
We'll go quick.
813-977-6800. Let's go ahead and talk. Stevie, you first.
Let's do it. Okay. Well, in fact, what we'll do is we'll maybe have Eric go ahead and bring up maybe the first 3 or 4 pictures under my name, and we'll just talk about
about
it real
that
quick.
one
This is the ship manifest for Giorgio Canella, 33 years old, came here 1890, actually left Sicily 1891, got here 1892, but it was 3 weeks later. It was December of 91. And
so he spent New Year's at sea.
Yeah, exactly. And he eventually became one of the board of directors of the Italian Club in about 1910, 1911. The next picture is really interesting, and I'm going to kind of go through these rather quickly, but you'll see the immigrant statue wall in Centennial Park, Ybor City. My family here, we have our ancestors on the wall, and if you look above, I went ahead and put a yellow box around. That's Fran Constantino's family.
Yes, it is.
And her family came through Ellis Island from Santo Stefano, same town that my ancestors came from in Sicily. 1906, Ellis Island down to Tampa to work in the cigar industry. Of course, they were in the granite industry, the marble. Mm-hmm. And the next picture is on my that was Giorgio Canella on my grandfather's side. This is on my grandmother's side, the Coutros family. We're related to the Coutros. This is Joseph and Antonina Coutro, 50-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, and out of the Tampa Times. Look at
Times,
that,
man.
1942, I believe.
Yes, that is.
Now the next picture is really amazing. This is my grandmother, her marriage certificate.
Wow, look at that.
This is actually
Great
beautiful.
condition.
The wax seal is fully intact at the bottom, and the one of the witnesses happens to be Vincent Nuccio, probably related to Nick Nuccio, the mayor.
Yeah.
It's got to be somehow.
Sure.
But I have the actual scroll. I had this kind of flattened out and made it to a digital copy. But beautiful, beautiful. But the next photo is really interesting. Now this one here, this is Giorgio Canella when he came to Tampa, 1892. He filed an intent to become an American citizen.
And Steve, may I ask, if I may, where exactly did he originate? Where did he come from?
Well, he was actually born. He was actually born in Corleone, Sicily.
I'm sorry.
Corleone, Sicily.
Wow.
Did you say Corleone, Sicily?
I said Corleone, Sicily.
Do I kiss your ring now?
Just yes.
Can you bring us up in the 3-shot real quick? Will you?
Well, you owe me an apology anyway.
Will you be my friend, Godfather?
Oh man.
There it is. Right on the knuckle.
No, but
That's
anyway,
pretty cool, Steve.
Really interesting. But here's the interesting thing about this whole photo. He filed an intent to become a citizen, but never actually became a citizen. So what that means is, and I found this out through my cousin Greg Canella. Greg, my cousin, myself, and my 3 sisters, we all can become dual citizens of Italy.
How cool is that?
Because of that little
When are we going?
snafu, or the reason why, I don't know why he didn't become a citizen, but on that paper you can see in the red, he had to renounce his allegiance to Victor Emmanuel III, King of Italy. How about that?
Wow.
That's
cool.
Fascinating. But anyway, so we're working on that. We're about 70% done with all the paperwork.
Dual citizenship.
Yeah, dual citizenship.
That's pretty neat, bud.
So very interesting. And I have a video. We may not have time for it though. So maybe.
Well, let's see if we get the 15-minute girl, because she's got some stories to tell too.
Right.
I got some pictures as well, darling. Do you want? This is the list of your photos. The first one, the second one, the third one. So go ahead and bring up the 15-minute girl's photos, and darling, you can speak over those.
My lineage is quite different from my fellow hosts here. That's my great-grandmother, and her name was Emma Froneberger. And that picture was taken in Cedartown, Georgia, and she worked at the theater there. And
German extraction, can we assume?
well, I guess she married in. I don't know what her maiden name was. I never heard that. I never got a lot of information. That's my mother's mother, my Jeanette Duranzio. She also married Italian. She wasn't Italian. She was a boatler, and they were from England. They traced our family in England back to the Boxer Rebellion.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And that's her and her sister, my great aunt Vivian, as little girls. I just thought that was a cool picture. And that's my dad's dad. That's Pop and my grandmother, which I refer to as Mama. And they were from Indiana. They were farmers. And their lineage traces all the way back to a Baron Adam Fisher, who was the head counsel to Frederick the Great.
Pretty neat.
And his son, Adam Fisher's son, He was sent to America because he was accused of killing a deer on the king's land, and the punishment was hanging. So to save his life, they made a deal, and he sent his son to America, and that's the Fisher that I'm connected to.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
I see a family resemblance because Pop looks a whole lot like your dad.
He does.
And,
yeah. And my dad always used to tell me that we were connected to the Cherokee Indians, and I think there is some somewhere, but I haven't been able to.
Well, there was something that
Yeah.
Pop used to always, it was a little
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that Pop used to always, do you remember it, darling?
Bob Tusky, big engine meat, whoop, wacky. My grandpa used to tell me that all the time. I don't know what it means, but it was special.
I'm going to
for me.
Google that.
And if anybody
Yeah.
out there knows what that means, please call us and let us know.
He was a
because
fun guy.
As long as I've known the 15-minute girl, she's been saying that, and I've
Yes.
been wondering, darling, what does it mean?
Yeah.
And what a severe penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Killing a goat on the king's property.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got some photographs from my family lineage, and we'll talk about that real quick. Well, we're starting with this one. These are my grandparents on my mother's side who were from Puerto Rico. That's little Mario there with his abuelo Juan and his abuela Maria. And these are the two people that I spent so much time with as a little guy, right there and just just west of the West Tampa dividing line. Dale Mabry, that lived on West Cass. And they were from Puerto Rico. My grandfather was from a small town there, Yabucoa, and my grandmother was from Juana Diaz, which is right next to Ponce. And of course, if you went further back, it would be Spain and the Canary Islands. The next photograph is, this is very interesting, and it's hard to discern, but I'll tell you, right up at the top, if you could see that first line on the ship's manifest, this is the Olivet, which set sail on January the 3rd, 1915, from Havana, Cuba, arrived the next day in the port of Tampa, January the 4th, 1915. My great-grandfather, Alberto Nunez, is listed on the first line there.
I see it.
And if you can see it, you go all the way across. It lists his height, it lists his health, it lists whether he could read or write. It lists his occupation, which was cigar maker at the time. He was 59 years old. But the interesting part about this, on the third line of that manifest, and we'll put this up on our website so you can see it. On the third line is a gentleman by the name of Victoriano Mantega. Victoriano Mantega is Patrick's grandfather,
Oh, yeah.
the
Wow.
gentleman
La
who
Gaceta.
started La Gaceta, who was 22 years old at the time. So they were on the same ship traveling from Cuba.
pretty
My
cool.
great-grandfather made that trip quite often because his sons were already living here in Tampa in the cigar industry. And like Steve, I have a connection to the Cuban Club. My grandfather's brother, Alberto, named after his father, was one of the founding members of the board of directors of the Cuban Club in 1916. So it's really a long and storied history. It's wonderful that we have these documents that we can share with our family. The next photograph is a close-up of what I was just talking about. So you can see now, you can discern Alberto Nunez right up at the top, and just underneath that two lines, Victoriano Mantega. And it's really, really interesting because somebody had to handwrite this manifest. And you can see the Olivet right up at the top.
They had a
And you
great
see Havana,
handwriting.
Cuba,
They sure did.
very, very ornate and wonderfully written. And that was all by hand. The next photograph, real quick, these are my grandparents, my paternal grandparents. That's my abuelo Juan. Juan Marcelo was his name, and my abuela Laura. Abuela Laura's mother was born actually in Monroe County. She was a Mendoza. She was born in, she was a Bárcena, forgive me. She was a Bárcena. She was born in Monroe County, which is Key West, and came to Tampa as a young girl in the late 1800s. My grandfather was born in Havana, Cuba, and his father was from Veracruz. In that last photograph, if you were to take it all the way out to the outside, you could see where they mentioned that he was from Veracruz, Mexico. This is my great-grandmother who is entombed, or buried, I should say, in Colón Cemetery. What I found out doing the research to find my great-grandmother, we laid that plot down for her last year. Apparently when she passed, there wasn't enough money to even mark her gravesite, so last year we had a ceremony laying of a new marker for her. She's at Colón Cemetery. Colón and Martí, which is at the corner of MacDill and Columbus Drive, at the time was on the outskirts of town. Most of us know that who have been here in Tampa for any length of time. Way on the western outskirts of town. So it was a cemetery. Of course, now it's in the middle of the heart of West Tampa, and many of our descendants, our grandparents and our great-grandparents, have been laid to rest there, as well as my grandparents, the two you saw in the picture before that. So that's
Very
our
nice.
story.
That's interesting.
Darling, do you have something to say real quick before?
Yes, we need to it's
Get to that
past
bolita
the
drawing.
15-minute mark. We need to do the bolita drawing.
We
right
will do
now.
the bolita drawing in just 1 minute. We'll give you 1 more minute to call us if
got
there's
some
anybody
emails,
out
too.
there. Do we, Steve?
We
You
sure
want to
do.
read those?
We sure do. We
Callers,
should.
let me just give you that
Any
number again.
bolita
It's
numbers?
813-977-6800. We'll give you one more opportunity to call. We love our first-time callers, so if you're out there and you want to give us a call, no lines occupied right now, Stevie.
And we love our second-time callers, too.
Of course
you know,
we do.
You know what? My great-grandfather might have been good friends with your great-grandfather.
There's no doubt about
They
it.
probably had a show called
There's
the
no
Tampa
doubt.
Ancestry Show.
Well,
How
my
about that?
great-grandfather wouldn't have been friends with either one of you guys.
No?
No.
No.
Different area,
Well,
totally.
yeah, different part of the world.
Well, we have a couple here. And in fact, you know what? I think Dan Perez, oh my gosh. Oh no, never mind. Oh no,
There
no,
it is.
Oh,
There's
there
the
it
picture.
is.
Dan Perez sent us a picture
Quick
of
like
the
a bunny.
checkerboard water tower. So we'll show that next week on the
Yeah.
show.
We sure will.
Thanks,
We sure will.
Dan.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dan.
Dan.
Dan's
That's
on
awesome.
Dan's on the job.
Dan is on
Angelo
it.
Ramori. He writes, both my mother and father were born in Ybor City as I was. My grandparents on my father's side were from Santo Stefano, Sicily, and my mother's side were from Havana, Cuba. All came to Tampa in the early 20s, Bolita number 24. Thank you,
24.
Angelo.
We'll get those bolita
And we've got, you know what? We have
balls
another
ready
one.
to go.
This is actually Walt and Betty.
Oh, Walt and
Oh,
Betty, yeah.
hi.
You know
Diane
what?
Cooper.
Hi, Walt
Long
and Betty.
time no see.
I have something that Betty submitted, and if you have the same information, I'll let you read it, Steve, because I
Go
have
ahead.
it here. Let's see what you've got.
Okay, well, I have, her email says, both parents were born here, Walt and Betty Grantham Allen, and on mom's paternal line, the family has been in Tampa since 1870.
Wow.
All from Georgia, Scott Irish. Mom's grandmother was a branch, thus Branchton Community was named.
Branch.
I'm a
Branch.
fifth
I have a
generation
Branch
Floridian.
friend.
Fifth generation.
I
It's
wonder
pretty-
if they're
Well,
related to Ricky Branch.
number
And,
52.
and Betty Allen writes here,
Wow.
she writes, and she posted this on Facebook. She says, my mom came to America in 1905 from Poland with my grandfather and siblings. Grandfather Stanley Jessica came to America first to check it out and then went back to get his family, which happened quite often. My father, Burton Grantham, came from Live Oak, Florida. How they met, I don't know. Fate, I guess. Grandfather helped build Lafayette Bridge across the river. He said the water was green and so nasty, so he went back to Chicago. But my mom stayed here and married real young.
Wow.
Dan Michaels also writes, Dad was from Cleveland, forgive me, and Mom was from Wisconsin, Racine area. Of course, Marilyn Favata Messina has a wonderful, interesting story that she's told us here before on a previous show about her grandfather, how he came over as a very young man. Remember, he went back, he got here, he had
Yes.
conjunctivitis in his eye. They sent him all
Came
the way
by
back.
himself,
Came
yeah.
by himself as a 9-year-old. Jack Espinosa has told us some wonderful stories. And Ray Villadonga, who is the product of a mixed marriage. He says his mother was from Ybor City and his father from West Tampa.
That's funny.
We want to mention, before we get to our bolita drawing, that just this coming Saturday, Club Unico is preparing the jaiba enchilada that they're using as a fundraiser on Sunday. Saturday they prepare the jaiba enchilada, the jaiba, and Sunday they serve it. And it's from 10 to 2 o'clock. We want to make sure that everybody knows that, 10 to 2 o'clock at Letter Carriers Hall. So you can drive up and purchase your jaiba enchilada. That goes to a great cause. It's for a scholarship funding, scholarship tuition for a lucky student, a lucky 2 or 3 students. So be sure you support that wonderful, wonderful cause. We should get to our numbers, guys. Are we ready?
Well, we have one
Yes.
more number.
Oh,
52 for Diane Cooper.
52,
Diane
Diane
Cooper?
Cooper.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep. And I think that's
All right, well,
pretty much it.
we want to make sure. So we're giving away tonight. Our first prize will be the bottle of olive oil or infused vinaigrette from Joe and Sons. That's Marilyn Messina. Get over there and see her. Darling, would you like to draw? Steve, would you like to draw?
Sure.
Let's Steve
All right,
draw.
let Stevie draw.
Okay. Dig a little deep here.
Get in there. Closest
Okay.
to
We've got one. Wow, this is going to be interesting. 74.
74. So
74.
here it is, darling.
This will be top of the list.
Top of the list.
That would be
Diane
Diane
Cooper.
Cooper.
Is Diane Cooper local? Is she in Tampa?
I'm not sure about that.
Diane Cooper, if you're local and you're in Tampa, please let us know how we can get in touch
Well,
with
that's
you.
Walt and Betty's daughter, I believe.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
there
she's
it is.
local.
Well, then
She's local, yeah.
wonderful, Diane.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Lucky winner. We'll let you know how to get
Congratulations.
920-2508, or we'll just send you a return email, let you know when to get over there and get your bottle of, not lucky bottle, it's your bottle
Whatever
of olive
you'd
oil
like.
infused
And you'll
vinaigrette.
love the olive
Stevie, get in there and get you another one. This is for a $10 gift certificate to La Septima Cafe in Brandon.
Okay.
Thank you, Ronnie.
This is
Fernandez.
21
21.
So is there a
on the low side.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Marlene
Marlene Maceda Lee, $10 and a trip to Brandon. We'll get over there to Ronnie and Dahlia and have you some lunch. Man, that guava
We were there
cheesecake is
yesterday.
amazing. And so is the carrot.
Yes.
All right, Stevie, come on, do it
All right,
good.
last one.
This is for 4 tickets to this coming Saturday's Tampa Yankees game. Bark in
Okay,
the
this is
ballpark.
56.
56.
Wow, Davian
Benito wins again.
Davian Benito,
4
you're going to
tickets.
another ball game, Davian.
We're going to be there.
So if you're not going to use all 4 of those tickets, you let us know, and we'll fill those other 3 slots. I'm sure we can do that.
He needs to buy a Powerball ticket.
Yes, he does. Davian, let's
really
go in
lucky.
together.
Yeah,
let's buy that ticket
let's do
together.
a group
550
ticket.
million or half a billion, as Steve was quick to point out. All right. I've got Bark in the Park. I've got Water Tower. We showed that. Stevie, are there any pictures that we have not shown?
No, I think we covered all the pictures.
We covered all of them. Thank you so much,
We have.
everybody that called tonight to share your stories. And if you didn't get a chance to call in tonight, but you'd like to share your stories, write us. You can write us on our website. Steve, can't they send a comment to our website?
They sure can. Actually, if they're on Facebook, they can do it right from the website, tampanativeshow.com. And also, while you're there, click on Visit Our Sponsors and make sure you check out all of our sponsors. I think you'll be very interested to see who's sponsoring the Tampa Native Show and keeping us going.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And also, give us a call on our comment line. That's 813-920-2508 and tell us how we're doing and if you're enjoying the show.
And you can also reach out to us and send us an email. The email address is show@tampanatives.com. Show@tampanatives.com. The same email that you sent your emails to us here during the show and your Bolita numbers as well. We're going to keep doing this each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what? We just can't get enough of this.
We can't.
We're enjoying ourselves and meeting new people all the time and,
new friends.
and making wonderful new relationships and friends in the community. So we're very grateful for your support and for your love. And we'd like to thank you. Zimbear is always going to be here with us to bring us good luck every Thursday.
He's cute.
We've got shows coming up. Next week's show, we want to pitch it right now. Next week's show is going to be all about those wonderful nicknames. All those nicknames from the old neighborhood, the ones you heard Ray talking about, Cucufato, Bichito, all those nicknames, Tampa Steve, the 15-minute girl, Chinito. We're going to be talking about them next week. So send in that information ahead of time. And if you've got pictures, that's even better. Send those pictures in.
I'm so excited that Dan found the picture of the checkerboard water tower. That's
we'll put that up there
incredible.
as well. We'll put that up there.
I'll put that on the website too.
This show will be up by the end of this weekend as well. We're going to have, just peruse that website, because that website is complete with all of our archive shows dating all the way back to our very, very first show. So if you're new to the show this week,
check us out.
Check us out. You'll find all of the old shows there.
And highlights too. In fact, and by the way, Joe Abini, I got your email. The last 2 weeks' shows will be up by this weekend.
Good.
Excellent.
We'll be caught up.
Thank you guys. Another great show. You guys
Very
did
good.
great. Stevie, great job on that video, by the way. That
thank
video
you.
is going to be
that
up on
was
our
really good.
website soon.
Really good.
Yeah,
Let's
that'll be
do
up
this
there.
together,
Let's do
guys.
it.
Let me just say, on behalf of Eric Cups, our technical director, without whom we wouldn't be able to do this.
And Miss
Thank you.
Dory.
Hello, Dory, who comes in here to answer our phones each and every week. That's Tampa Steve. This is our 15-minute girl, and I'm Mario Nunez. Salud and happy days. We love you, Tampa.
Yes,
See you
we
next
do.
week.
Back when we were younger and everything seemed new, we used to have a lot of fun, yes we did, no matter what we do. Sleepy days, long summer nights, going anywhere we please, with love that I could call my own, love that I've always known, the city that I call my home, a home from which I never roam. This love affair was meant to be. I love her and she loves me. I remember Tampa, oh, she remembers me. She remembers me. I remember, yeah, yes I do. Oh, I remember, yeah, me and you. I'm a Tampa native, Tampa native, can't you see? I will share my story with you to preserve its history.
All right now, don't forget, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on TBCN, home of the Tampa Native Show.